Hey guys, so I wanted to do a quick video and catch you guys up on what's been going on this week. I'm just gonna kind of recap the entire week because trying to do like a daily recap is a little bit difficult once the season gets going, which it is because it's March the 1st, so it means a lot for the farm, or past March the 1st actually. We're on March 3rd, I think today is, so for seed starting. Now some of this we've done already, but if we haven't started it yet, I'll talk a little bit about it. So we started between, I would say, like the end of February and today. We're going to finish all of our seeding, and these are the things that we've done. We have done or are doing Gomphrena, Apple of Peru, which I believe is new, started this month, and this is something that I've done in the past, but I kind of let go of it for a minute because it has very extreme bug pressure, I would say. Like above everything I've grown on the farm, the bugs just love Apple of Peru. They also love amaranth. So I'm doing Apple of Peru again this year. It makes a really cute, it makes a flower, and then it becomes like a bell shape, green bell shape. And I think it's a blue flower if I remember correctly. But it's a really sweet, I would call it a filler, but it's just really pretty, smells good, a pretty green foliage. It's like a kind of a limey green color foliage, but I'm going to have to spray it with something, probably something organic. I don't spray anything else on the farm, but if I have this, I have to spray it because otherwise it just gets torn to shreds. Something new I started this month was Asclepias, which is better known as milkweed, I believe, or butterfly weed. And I'm growing this for two reasons. One is for the butterflies, and second is for cutting for use in flower arrangements. But ultimately, if it doesn't work out in the flower arrangements, I'm going to keep it around for the butterflies. So that is new. Basil is not new, but we are just starting it for the first time this month. Basil is an excellent filler flower. So I've grown all kinds of varieties of basil. My all-time favorite is the Mrs. Burns Lemon, and it's just a really pretty citrusy green and smells really good, lasts really well in a vase, and it's just a gorgeous filler. The other two I love are Sweet Thai, which is kind of, it grows a little shorter than my other varieties, but it's just really pretty and it smells good. And it's a different kind of a green. And then Cinnamon, which is kind of more red color. I've grown Dark Opal. I don't really love it, and I can't really get it to grow tall. So for me, I'm just gonna stick with those three varieties this year. Celosia is not new for me, but it is the first time we're starting it this year. And there are so many different varieties of celosia. I'm growing some from Floret, some from Johnny's, some from seed I've taken in the past, but just they come in all kinds of colors, really bright. They also come in very muted tones, which I enjoy, and they come, my all-time favorite is probably Limonada by Floret. It's just a really pretty greeny yellow. If you can't tell, I like the green yellows. Pretty much goes with any kind of flower arrangement you want to do. We're starting more China Aster, but we started that last month too. Starting more Cosmos, Ami. This will be the last round of Ami that we start. I'm starting some ornamental grasses this month, which this will be the only time I start it. This is not a succession planting. So one that I started last year is Feather Top Grass, and I really loved it. It made this cute, it's almost like a bunny tail, but more fluffy and really pretty. So I'm growing that again. And then two that I haven't grown before are Frosted Explosion and the Greater Quaking. So this will be my first time with those. We'll see how they work out for me. Hollyhock, I've attempted in the past, but I think I put it in a poor place. It didn't have enough sun and it kind of drenched a little more than it needs to be. Hollyhock is more of a dry flower. It prefers dry conditions, so I've got a full sun spot that's a little more dry, and that is a perennial, so we'll see how that goes. I'm growing two varieties. One is called Peaches and Dreams, and one is called King Henry VIII. So we'll see how that goes. Also new to me this year is Rose Mallow, or Lavaterra, I believe it's called. And I have zero experience with this, but it just looks really pretty, so we're gonna try it out. We are starting more Rudbeckia. This is our first time we're starting Scabiosa. So I actually started some Fama Scabiosa in the fall and planted those out. And then just to give myself a backup, I'm planting the regular varieties of Scabiosa because I know those will work for me, just in case the Famas don't come up like they're supposed to. We've got some replacements for those. Status, we started last month and we're starting it again today. Also, we're starting this round, we're starting some straw flower, which I have grown in the past, but I kind of let go of it because I just needed space for other things. So we're trying to grow it again this year. It has a very unique papery texture to it, which I think provides a lot for a bouquet. They come in some really beautiful colors, and they prefer to be in drier conditions like the hollyhock and other things. So Yarrow is the next, which we started last go around. We're starting it again this go around. And then finally Zinnia, which this is the first time we started this year. We'll be growing that in succession as well. And Zinnia is just the easiest flower to grow. If you want to start something that you know for sure you're going to get flowers out of, Zinnia is a good one to start with. I would just caution you, like I start all my seeds down here in the basement, and we do have mice in our basement. We have cats too that kind of minimize the pressure, but mice love Zinnia, and they also love corn. If you're growing corn, they'll eat those up really fast, and they can climb. These are metal. They can climb these, they can get to the top. So there's no safe space for them. So basically what I do is I let them germinate, and then I stick them outside unless it's gonna be below freezing, then I bring them back in. But yeah, so just be aware of what conditions you're starting your seeds in. You wanna keep predators away from your seedlings. So those are all the seeds we're starting. I started end of February and I'm finishing up today. All in all, it's 28 trays that I was starting. So because we have also planted out, which I'll show you in a video, our Snapdragon, our Sweet Pea, and we're getting ready to plant out today the Shirley Poppies and the Viola, I have plenty of space in my light system and plenty of trays so I can start all of those. So like I mentioned, we did plant out our first round of hardy annuals. Now these are things that can stand a frost. They can stand probably down to about 25, I wanna say, or even lower. So, but we did harden them off real good. We wanna make sure that they're not gonna die once we plant them out. We did not water anything in because we've had really good rain the past couple of days and we're gonna have more. It's gonna warm up too. So I'm going to uncover the ranunculus and the anemone that we have covered right now, and they're doing great. They're gonna get some of that good rain coming these next couple of days. And I think that's it. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that we did this week. I mean, other than just kind of, you wanna keep track of your seedlings, you wanna keep those watered and fertilized if necessary. I am noticing that some of my seedlings that don't like fertilization aren't doing well in this seed mix, because if you recall, I purchased a germination mix that has a little bit of food in it, and I'm noticing they don't really love that. So things that aren't loving it are the Shirley Poppies. They don't like that extra feeding. Trying to think, the Status doesn't like the extra feeding. I think that's it for now. So just if you're starting Shirley Poppies or Status, they don't require, so you might want to buy a germination mix with absolutely no fertilization in it. So we are going to get those out into the ground. They're going to start doing better. I did want to just kind of make a note, when you're outside planting out, you'll notice in the videos I'm going to attach to this that we pulled the seedlings out of their trays prior to going out to plant out, because once you're on your knees, you don't want to spend hours and hours on your knees. You want to get it done quick. So if you have those already popped out, you can work a lot faster. You also want to keep in mind conditions outside and your clothing and your hair and your glasses and your sunglasses and whatever else you're going to need to plant out. Gloves, you're going to want to make yourself as comfortable as possible. So because it was rainy and cold yesterday, I double gloved, rainproof gloves, I double sweatered. I put my hair back up in the hat. If you have glasses, you want to make sure they're not going to slide down your face the whole time. If you have sunglasses, same principle. Pants, you don't want your pants to be falling off the whole time. You want to make sure that you're as comfortable as you can possibly be out there working really, really hard. In the summer, I wear like a bandana to keep the sweat from rolling down into my eyes. You'd be surprised at how obnoxious those things can be when you're trying to get things done, and they really do hinder your progress. So that was just a side note, and I think that's it for this week. In the next coming weeks, we're not going to do much by way of seed starting, but we will be working outside a whole bunch because we had that second round of snapdragons that I am hardening off currently outside, because those were only a week apart from the first set. So they're going to be planted out probably Monday or Tuesday of next week. And I think that's it. I hope this helps you with your seed starting. I hope you're seeing lots of success, and I hope you're more confident putting your plants out, especially those hardy annuals that can stand a little bit of frost. Hey guys, good morning. So I just wanted to catch you up on what we've been doing outside. So this is our snapdragon row, and today is February the 28th. It's a Saturday, and so I want to plant this out on Monday. We're going to get some good rain and some good weather on Monday, and for the upcoming forecast looks pretty ideal. So we prepared this bed to plant our snapdragons out, and how we did this is this row was covered all of fall and winter. So it had some sunflowers in it last year. Sorry, there's traffic. Sunflowers in it last year, which we just cut to the ground and covered. We did not pull them out by the roots because they have a massive root system. I had a sunflower that was like 12 feet tall, so we just cut them down to the ground and covered it. Now today I pulled the cover off, and those same stems that were so huge and impossible, I got them out really, really easy today. I'll see if I can find one of those stems to show you, but they come out a whole lot easier in the spring if you just let them sit. So then we kind of blew out the row, got the dead stuff off of it. We put in our amendments, which are, I used a compost, and then I put in some blood meal, feather meal, and bone meal. And then we just kind of raked that in. I set my water lines. They are a foot apart, 4 rows of water lines. And then, because snapdragon require support, I set down my Hortonova netting. And the Hortonova netting also gives me a system by which I can plant out the snapdragons, because I put 2 per 6-inch square. So that shows me 6-inch squares exactly, so I don't have to measure everything I put out. So this is all set up. It's going to start raining on Monday, but hopefully I can get out and plant my snapdragon before the rain starts. And the rain is perfect because you really don't want your snapdragon to dry out, the baby seedlings to dry out. So the rain will take care of those. But the snapdragons have been hardened off and they're ready to go out on Monday. Okay, so it is Monday, March the 2nd, and I was hoping actually to have this stuff in before the rain came, but it rained last night, a little ahead of schedule. So things are rained in. All those amendments I put in are in the soil real good. So the first thing we did was pop all of our seedlings out of their tray and put them in the bottom tray, because when you're kneeling down working, you want to be as fast as possible. Okay, so we have all the snapdragon out that we planted that first round of seedlings. We still have a bunch of trays that haven't been hardened off yet, that we started a week after we started these first set. So we're gonna harden those off this week, plant them out next week, but there are 2 per 6-inch square. So we just use that Hortonova netting to mark the 6-inch square. And we're gonna get a bunch of rain and the weather's gonna get really good, so these will perk up in a couple days or 2 weeks or 2. Anyway, And then of course we have space at the back for all the trays that we still have left in the seed room. Here are the sweet pea planted in. They're about 4 inches apart on this trellis system that I got from, I think it was Gardener's. And then we started using a cheaper way of doing things. But these pea tunnels I really like, but they're kind of expensive. So I did 4 inches apart. We're not clipping them up yet. Once they get a little tougher and stronger, right now there's no point in clipping them up. These are fairly weak seedlings. Once you'll know when the tough stuff comes out, you'll be able to tell the difference. And we amended each of these beds with compost, blood meal, and bone meal. So and we added a little bit of extra soil if there was soil missing. But here's the less expensive method. It's just rebar, or I'm sorry, these are not rebar. What are these called? These green things?
Rebar and...
That's not rebar.
Oh, those are T-posts?
T-posts. T-posts and Horton Nova netting. A little less expensive. A lot less expensive. And then I use tomato clips to clip mine because they're just easy to get on and off rather than using like a tie or a string. So yep, that's that. Okay, so here they all are. We have in total 7 of these tubs in production with sweet pea, and then I've got a ton of these little pots that I use for leftovers because I didn't have enough room for all of these. So there they are. I have to finish some because I ran out of soil. But these ones are just going to use this fence that we have here as a trellis. So we're not going to water them because we're going to get good rain this week. We don't have to worry about watering them, and we're going to have good weather. So they should be good to go. Okay, so just a quick video about signs of life that we have on the farm. We've got our anemone coming up. Now these first set of blooms are going to be really short, and then they're going to get a lot taller as the months go by. So I'm probably just going to cut these out and keep them in water in the house just for my own enjoyment. But there's one flower that is coming up right now, and those were planted in the fall. I want to say probably October. And then the other is these beautiful hellebores. Not all of them have opened up just yet. And they're actually a lot shorter than I thought they would be. So we're gonna just keep an eye on these. These are for fun, but also for harvesting. If we have someone that is interested in hellebores, I'll cut them. Anyway, so hellebores, anemone, and I think that's probably gonna be it. I did see some mint. The mint is starting to put up shoots. You can't tell here, but in my other area where I'm growing mint, you can see the shoots coming up through the ground. This one's kind of covered in junk, so you can't really see what's happening, but the mint is starting to put up shoots. I'm trying to think what else. The Orlea and the Bupleurum up in there, they're starting to shoot. I saw clematis shoots the other day. The tulips are coming along amazing. Let's see. That's a tulip bed out there. And the daffodils, of course, are coming up. Okay, continuing with things that are showing signs of life. These are the tulips I was talking about. There's tulips in the background there. You can obviously tell some are going to bloom a lot sooner than others. And then we've got our scabiosa, perennial scabiosa coming up. We've also got yarrow coming up, and peony. I forgot to show the peony. The peony are putting up roots. You can see these baby yarrow coming up. We also have, this is Rudbeckia. I'm leaving this leaves on it because it's not quite warm enough to uncover, but you can see over here signs of life. And then I would say the famas are showing signs of life, but not a whole lot of activity on the fama. And then I think the last thing that is showing signs of life out here is the phlox. So you can see the flocks starting to come back very slowly. But I'm really excited about this because I'm always excited about perennials that can survive Missouri winter.